Yo guys, welcome back to a brand new video and another episode of What If F1 Returned or Raced At. And today we are here for the Indianapolis Grand Prix. It's been a highly requested one in the comments in my previous episodes. And like always guys, the previous episode will be linked in the top right hand corner of the screen, which was at Watkins Glen this week. And also guys, there'll be a full playlist link down below in the description. So before you guys in the comments ask for me to do certain tracks, go check the playlist and see what races I've already done, so you guys don't ask for something that's already happened. So you know, Istanbul, Imola, a list of tracks, so many tracks we've done, and there's still so many more to come, and I've got a massive list prepared guys, and I cannot wait to keep doing this series and going to these former F1 venues. But today we are here at Indianapolis, and I couldn't find a version that was exactly the same as the Formula 1 version, more specifically the kind of infield section with the very tight kind of double hairpin kind of corners. All I've got is the kind of one that's got the variant with the 290 degree right and left, rather than where you go back on yourself twice on the 180 degree corners. Other than that, it's the exact same circuit, and we're going to have a little bit of fun here today, racing in Lewis Hamilton's Mercedes, as he was, you know, we finished the season, and he's the new world champion. I thought, you know what, let's just race with Lewis, and he's probably the biggest superstar in the US anyway as a driver, so I thought it'd be quite fitting. So let's jump into it, and let's see what this track has in store for us. Right, so here we go then, let's leave the pit exit and get up to speed then, and we're going to see exactly how fast this car can do this lap. Back in the day, I believe this was around a 1 minute 15-ish lap. It was a very quick circuit, so this car could do it even quicker. Straight away, turn 1 hits you, very flat apex, so it's kind of hard to see, but this car has a lot of grip. I can feel it already, a lot of grip indeed on this car. I'm not even pushing, and it just feels like it just wants to be thrown into every single corner. But this was a really good track, you know, I really enjoyed Indianapolis. It was a shame that things happened like the 05 race, where that really damaged the reputation F1 had in the States, more specifically in the US. As we go for a spin, there's very little grip there for some reason on the rear tyres. We're going to make our way back onto the track, but yeah, there's a bit of a shame really that, you know, that race happened really, and it kind of really damaged F1 for a lot of years until eventually Indy was taken off the calendar after 2007, and eventually replaced it 5 years later by COTA in 2012. But here's the section, so I don't have the original one where there used to be like a right hander that goes back at itself 180 degrees and then another left. It's just got the two kind of right and left 90 degree corners, but it's still, you know, pretty close. The real thing, the lap time will be slightly quicker, therefore a bit more inaccurate. But there's a lap of Indy, and then it's flat out to the line here as we go through this long right which feeds onto the banking. I'm probably going to open DRS on this straight, like the entire pit straight, and also the back straight, the short little back straight. Those are going to be two of the zones of use. So we're going to open up DRS now, and we're going to try and set a couple of laps and see what the lap time is. I'm going to say probably well below 1 minute 10 at least. That's going to be the target. Into turn 1 using 4th gear. A little bit of grass on entry, but that's okay. Rear end feels incredibly light, I can't lie. Probably what we spun before. Through turn 4, I believe it is. On the throttle again, flat out through this one, and then on the brakes, everything's up temperature now, so the car should grip up a little bit more, and this time it does, and we don't spin out. Now for this right, attacking the apex, back and get a bit loose again there, opening up the DRS onto the back straight, and now we go into the kind of Mickey Mouse section. Not quite sure where to brake, as I don't really know this layout, I'm not familiar with it. There used to be a lot tighter, that left-handed was a lot more complex of a corner to get through back in the day. It was just a much tighter, slower speed section. This is much quicker, but there we go, we went through, and we're now back on the pit straight. We're going to wait for the DRS until we get past the final banking. I thought that's a realistic place for DRS to be used in F1. There's no chance they take a chance with having DRS open through the banking. So here we go, now we're going to open up the rear flap. There we go. And that's it, that's a lap of 105.7. So there you go, more or less about what I expected, well below the 1 minute 10s. Let's push a bit more on the second lap and see what we truly have in the tank. Although I've got turn 1 a bit wrong there, I've scrubbed a bit wide. We are still up on the delta though, as we go through 4. Back end gets really light around here, there's a lot of front end grip. Feels very front heavy this circuit, this variant of it anyway. Front tyres, you can hear them screeching as we drag through, keeping it in 4th gear, carrying a lot more speed, and this time we get a very nice exit, and we're nearly a second up here. We're going to try and go a little bit later on the brakes into this left-hander. Again, there's no real references to turn in. This track's very flat, at least on this version, so it's kind of tricky to get an idea as to where things are. Rear's getting loose on me again there, trying to open up this, really the final corner. And there we go, we're 8/10 up. This should be a pretty simple conversion into a sub 1 minute 8 lap time, or so 1 minute 5 lap time. As we go into the banking, trying to keep it as low as possible without ruining the momentum, keeping the speed. Now we open DRS, and there we go, up to the line. a 104.8. So there we go then, a very simple lap really, not a major challenge. It's all about, those fine margins, and sometimes these simple laps are actually the more challenging ones because there's less room for error and you have to be really, really precise. But let's do some setup work and let's see where we can shave off some more lap time around this track. Okay, so we've made the changes and straight away we've reduced the fuel from 50 litres down to 25. I've kept the super soft tyres on, the C4 compound. I've also reduced the front wing by 2 clicks, so we've got a little bit more straight line speed. And also I believe we've made a little tweak to the brake bias just to make sure we're a bit more confident on the braking, and pretty much, yeah, that's it really, not major changes, just taking out a bit of the fuel and making it a bit more qualifying-esque in a way. So here we go then, let's see what this is like. And also we are running a higher ERS mode, a little bit of 1 into 1, they're missing the apex slightly. We do get turn 2 sorted out and we get a better exit. But yeah, we're running MGUK on a balanced high mode instead of balanced low, so a little bit more engine power to offer. And we're up already. A lot of different lines you can take for this section here. This left-hander does provide a difference in racing ability and racing lines. I like to really focus on my exit. A bit wide there, but we'll take it. There's no curb. There was a curb there in real life, at least back in the day when F1 used to race, but there's no curb here, so we are going to exploit the track limit. Got to be careful here. These curbs are really deadly. I don't trust myself at all. They seem to want to just spin me out all the time, so I'm giving the curbs plenty of respect. A bit oversteer, but we get away with it. That's going to kill us though. We're going to lose a lot of momentum along the straight. Luckily, because of the higher engine power, we're going to pull some of that back as we go into the banking. I'll go for one more lap where I'll push a little bit more with this kind of setup configuration, and then we'll go for a complete qualifying setup. So here we go, across the line, 1 minute 4.0. So there you go, we're getting quite quick now. Let's try and get below 1 minute 4 on this lap. Let's push a bit more. Early apex, attacking 1 a lot more, opening up turn 2 a lot better this time, getting a better exit and finding more momentum. Through 4. Easy on the throttle, using the curb on the exit. Flat out through 5. And sector 1 draws to a close as we now go into 6, taking a much earlier apex on entry. This is what I mean by different lines. Now through 7. On the gas, DRS open on the back straight, there we go. I think I forgot to open it in the last lap maybe. Now we're going to throw it in to the infield. A bit easy on the curb there because that inside curb especially is the one that really wants to hurt you. Much more speed through here, much tidier. Through the final corner. Let's not spin it this time, we'll lose any traction. There we go, that's much cleaner. And that should do it. We're 2 tenths up, so we should be well on course to getting below a 104 and into 1 minute 3s. Through the banking, keeping it nice and tidy, nice and low. And we open up the RS now as soon as the car straightens up. And we're 0.25 up, and there you go, 1 minute 3.8. Decent lap, car's working well around here. We're now going to really push that by putting on the C5, like literally this quickest possible tyre, and put some qualifying fuel in, and let's see what we can really do around this circuit. Oh, that's not the best way to set up the lap. Pushing a bit too much on the out lap there, just trying to see where the limits are, but here we go. Let's take some nice clean traction. Right, we're going to crank up the engine mode into motor, and we're also going to crank up the ERS deployment now as we go into hot lap mode. Here we go then, let's give it some. This is going to be a proper lap. 15 litres of fuel, C5, quickest tyre available on the car. Let's see what we can really do around the circuit and stretch the limits of the Mercedes. Turn 1. Nice and easy through there. Through turn 2, lots of grip. Getting good exit speed. Through 4. A little bit slightly missing the apex there, but that's okay. Flat through 5. Open up 6. On the brakes, trying to keep it a little bit tighter this time. Using 3rd gear actually, see if that will help me out. Through 7. On the gas, DRS open, there we go, we find some more time. Now into the infield. Braking really late this time, that was much better. I could have braken even later really. Through here, let's open up the left, let's not run to the grass like before, there we go. Final kind of corner really, on the throttle. Oh, that's a big snap. Big catch from us there. We're about a second up as we go through the banking. Let's make sure we keep it nice and smooth to the line. And we'll wait to open DRS. Got plenty of ERS yet to use, so this track not very thirsty for ERS consumption, but across the line, and it's a 102.5. So there you go, pretty good lap. I'm now going to have a little bit of a sweat and see what I can do. I want to see if I can maybe go for a sub 102 possibly. If I could get that, I'd be really, really happy. So I'm going to have a little bit of a sweat session now and see what I can do. It might be the next lap, who knows. It's a pretty easy track to drive, so let's find out and let's see what the true pace around here could be. Here we go then, this will be the lap. A sub 1 minute point 2. Up to the line. What is it going to be? A 1 minute 1.7. And there we go. I'll take that. I probably could go quicker. I think there's a stronger first sector in there, which is the first 3 corners. I think sub 101.5 is possible. But you know what? I'll take that. I had a couple of attempts at it. Really enjoyed it. And that was a pretty clean lap as well, which is always important for me for the video. But yeah, overall guys, that is it for Indianapolis. Unfortunately, there's not a replay cam because around here they're not designed properly. They're under the ground for some reason. So what you're going to get is a T-cam view of that lap. So I hope you guys enjoy it, and I'll be back in a moment. And there we have it then guys, that is it for the lap here in Indianapolis. The pit lane seems to be shut off in some way, shape or form, or it has a different entry, but back in the day you used to pull in on the right hand side there. We're going to pull in here on the pit straight. But yeah guys, that is it for this video, and if you guys enjoyed it then by all means please drop a big fat like on the video, and also get subscribed guys if you are new to the channel for daily Formula 1 content and also more content like this, where there'll be lots more videos in the near future and more episodes. And like I said, leave your suggestions down below as always for future tracks, and check out the playlist down below to see exactly what tracks we have done up until this point. But guys, that is going to be it for this video here today. Subscribe, like the video, notifications on, and I'll see you in my next one very soon. But until then, it's goodbye from me.